Good morning. This is Sujata. Today I am going to give a lecture on genetic linkage and crossing over. According to Mendel experiments which he had done on Pisum sativum, that is monohybridization, dihybrid experiments, the F1 heterozygote always it showed independent assortment. Independent assortment. In F1 generation, that is maybe monohybridization or dihybridization, he got the heterozygote plant. So this heterozygote plant which is produced in the F1 generation, he showed the independent assortment. That is the independent assortment of genes. So according to him, according to Mendelian theory, the genes they are not linked to each other because these genes are located on a different chromosomes. So he studied 7 pairs of characters of Pisum sativum. So he got the heterozygote plant in F1 generation and the genes they are separated independently. So this is about the Mendel experiments. Later, the scientist certain after his experiments, he proposed a theory that is chromosome theory of heredity. That the genes present on chromosome were much more than the Mendel monohybrid class. That means the chromosome contains not only more than one gene. According to this theory that is proposed by Sutton, the chromosome theory of heredity, according to this theory, one chromosome contains more than one gene. More than one gene. So according to this, when a cross is made with two gene pairs, a cross is made with two gene pairs, then they did not get the Mendel's dihybrid ratio. What is the dihybrid ratio of the Mendel? 9:3:3:1. So when they cross between the two gene pairs, they did not get the Mendel's dihybrid ratio. By this experiment, they observed that the two genes must be linked and show a tendency to be inherited together. By this experiment, what they observed, the genes must be linked on the chromosome. And these linked genes, they show a tendency to be inherited together to next generation. So, this phenomena, when we see the linked genes, they inherited together in the next generation, that is 2 or more genes present side by side on same chromosome. So then what we said, those are linked genes. So these linked genes and then they transmit to next generation. So that transmission pattern, the linked genes, their transmission pattern is called as linkage. Called as linkage. So what happened here? The genes are linked. And the genes which are present on the chromosome, linked and they transmit to next generation. So this phenomena is called as linkage. So the genes which are involved in this linkage process are called linked genes. Linked genes. So the chromosome which consists the linked genes, that chromosome is called linked chromosome. So what is linkage here? The genes which are present side by side on chromosome, they linked and they transmit to in that position only to next generation. So this transmission of these linked genes is called as linkage. So the genes which are involved in the linkage are called linked genes. The chromosome which consists of these linked genes are called linked chromosomes. Linked chromosomes. So these two scientists, that is Bateson and Punnett, their experiment. What are their experiment? By their experiment, they observed the altered dihybrid ratio in Lathyrus odoratus. So they conducted experiments on which plant? Sweet pea, that is Lathyrus odoratus. So when they conducted the experiment on this plant, they observed that the dihybrid ratio of Mendel is altered. So in this experiment, they took the two characters in which plant? That is sweet pea, Lathyrus odoratus. So in this plant, they took the two characters. What are those two characters? That is flower color. Flower color, what are the contrasting characters? Purple and red. Purple and red. And next character is, that is the shape of the pollen grain. Shape of the pollen grain. So what are the contrast characters related to shape of the pollen grain? Long and round. Long and round. So their experiment, that is Bateson and Punnett experiment, it involved two characters, that is flower color and shape of the pollen grain. So when they crossed these, the two plants which consist of these two characters, they got in the F1 generation, that is purple and long in F1 generation. Purple and long. But in the F2 generation, they did not get the ratio of the Mendel, that is 9:3:3:1. So in these, which they have selected these two characters, that is flower color, that is purple and red, and the shape of the pollen, that is long and round. In this character, the purple is dominant over red and long is dominant over round. So they crossed in the F1 generation. They got the dominant characters, that is P. And in F2 generation, they did not get the Mendelian ratio. So in the F2 generation, instead of parental combinations, what are the here parental combinations? Purple long and red round. These two are the parental characters. One is purple long and red round. These are the parental characters they had taken. So these parental combinations, they got in more frequency. But in recombinants like purple round and red long, these are the recombinations which are not present in the parent. So they obtain in lesser frequency. So see this chart. So you observe this here, the hybridization. Here they took the two characters, that is what is the flower color purple and long is the what is the shape of the pollen green. So this purple long are the dominant. Purple we can show with capital P, long with L. And next plant, what is the next? That is recessive characters. Red, that is the color of the flower, and round, that is the shape of the pollen grain. So these two are the recessive. So these two are the parent. One is dominant and another one is recessive. These both are the parental characters. So when they cross between these two parent, then in F1 generation, what they got? They got the dominant, like Mendel hybridization. In the F1 generation, they got the capital P, capital L, capital L. That is homozygous dominant character they got in the F1 generation. That is purple long plant they got in F1 generation. When they this plant, they crash this plant. When they crash this plant, this is the now we got in F1 generation, that is the homozygous dominant. When they cross this plant with the homozygous recessive, homozygous recessive, when they cross this, then in the F2 generation, what they got? Purple long, one type, and another type purple round, and another type red long, and another type red round. So here, what are the parental they have taken? That is purple long, and another one is the red round. These are the parental characters. So in the F2 generation, they got the what they observed, purple long and red round. These are the two parental characters. Purple long 1528 plants they got, and red round 381 they got. And the middle of the two, that is purple round and red long, these are the recombinants which are not present in the parent. These are the recombinants, but they got the recombinants less. That is purple round is 106 and red long is 117. So these are recombinants, they got the less in number. But the parental characters, that is purple long and red round, they got more frequency. That means here the parental characters are coming more than the recombinants. So the parental combination like purple long and red round were more in number, and the purple round and red long, these are the recombinants, they are less in number. So they did not get the Mendelian frequency that they expected, that is 9:3:3:1, that is the Mendelian frequency, the hybrid frequency. But they did not get that frequency, only they got the more frequency, that is parental, and less frequency, that is the recombinant. That means what they understood by this experiment, that it clearly indicates that the genes are linked. The parental characters were getting much number than the recombinants. That means the genes are linked. That's why the ratio modified. The ratio modified. Here the genes are linked, and the linked genes are inherited to the next generation. That's why they got the parental characters more than the recombinants. And next experiment, this Punnett and Bateson, another experiment also they conducted. That is, here the same class, they repeated by Bates and Punnett. This time they took different combinations. Previous what they took, purple long and red round. But here they are they took the purple round and red long. That is the combination they changed. Purple, that is the dominant, and round is the recessive character, that is the shape of the pollen. And red long, red is the dominant flower, sorry, recessive color of the flower, and long is the dominant, that is the shape of the pollen. So here they changed the combination. Instead of purple long, red round, they took purple round and red long. So in F1 generation, they got the all purple long, that is dominant character. That is the dominant character. So here you see this, that is first they took the, what are the characters? Purple long and red round. And in the next you see the second one, you see what is the second one? That is the purple round and red long. The second one, you observe the second one, it is different from the previous experiment. They took the different combinations, that is purple is the dominant character, round is the recessive character, and red is the recessive character, long is the dominant character. So they changed the combination and the cross between the purple round and the red long. So in the F1 generation, what they got? They got the heterozygous, that is all dominant characters, purple long, they got purple long. So now this F1 heterozygous plant, they crossed with recessive parent. What is we call this recessive parent? That is test cross. The heterozygous F1 plant, they crossed with recessive parent. Recessive parent. So what are the recessive characters here? Red, round. These are the recessive. So the cross between this heterozygous F1 plant with recessive parent. Recessive parent here, red, round. So in the F2 generation, what they got? Purple long and purple round and red long and red round. So which they got more frequency? That is purple round and red long. This purple round 7/16. In 16, 7 plants they got the purple round. And in 16, 7 plants they got the red long. So this purple round and red long, these are the parental combinations. These are the parental combinations. Purple round and red long. So they got the more plants in parental combination. And in 16, one only purple long, and next red round only one only. So by this experiment, it indicates that the two genes, the flower color and the pollen shape, are located on the same chromosome. Here, the parental characters, they are getting more. Why? Because the two genes, that is belongs to the flower color and pollen shape, are located on the same chromosome. So these genes are linked and inherit to the next generation. Next generation. So these genes which are linked, that is belongs to the color of the flower and pollen shape, these are located on the same chromosome and they are linked and they are next inherited to the next generation. So by these two experiments, they told that in the plant some genes are present on the same chromosome and they are linked and next they are inherited to the next generation. So this process we called as linkage. So there are coupling and repulsion. Coupling and repulsion. What is the coupling and what is the repulsion? So if the two genes which are dominant present on the same chromosome and the recessive genes also present on other, then the genes are said to be coupling phase. There are two chromosomes are there. You see the image. Okay, you see this image. So there are the two chromosomes. In one chromosome there are the dominant, that is the P capital L. So these are the dominant, that is the flower color and the shape of the pollen. See the next two chromosomes. In that chromosomes, two are the recessive allele genes are present. So in one chromosome, the dominant genes are present on one chromosome and the recessive genes on other chromosome. Then these genes are said to be coupling phase. So when these are present, dominant present on one chromosome and recessive present on another chromosome, then we can tell that these genes are said to be coupling phase. And what is repulsion? Repulsion means here that here they are presenting just like F1 heterozygote. It indicates that the two dominant genes come from two different parents. Then the genes are said to be repulsion phase. So in the heterozygous condition, that is in heterozygous F1, what is the heterozygous F1 plant? Capital P, small p, capital L, small l. That is the heterozygous F1 plant. So in F1 heterozygote, like F1 heterozygote plant, the two dominant genes, that is the capital P, small capital L, and the small p and the small l recessive genes, these are present on the same chromosome, because from F1 heterozygote, the two dominant genes come from the two different parents. Then the genes are said to be repulsion phase. So in the below diagram, these genes, dominant and recessive, both are there coming from the heterozygous F1 plant. So here the two dominant genes come from the two different parents. Here the dominant genes are present, no, capital P and capital L. The two dominant genes come from two different parents. Then we can say that the genes are said to be in repulsion phase. In repulsion phase. So linkage is two types. Linkage two types, that is complete linkage and incomplete linkage. So complete linkage means the genes which are linked, which are closely associated and always transmitted together without undergoing any crossing over. Then we can say this is complete linkage. The genes which are linked on chromosome, they are inherited to the next generation without any crossing over. So that type of linkage is called as complete linkage. But the complete linkage are very rare. Complete linkage are very rare. So in Drosophila, the fourth chromosome of Drosophila, it exhibits the complete linkage. The genes on fourth chromosome, those are bent wings and shaven bristles. So these genes are present on the fourth chromosome of Drosophila. In this fourth chromosome of Drosophila, it exhibits the complete linkage. But the complete linkage is very rare. Next one is the incomplete linkage. Here, incomplete linkage, that means here the linkage is not complete and the gene pairs, they assert partially independent of each other. Assert, they are separated partially independent of each other. So here the relationship between genes can be modified due to the crossing over in meiosis. Okay, so there may be crossing over takes place in meiosis. So that's why the relationship between the genes modified. So this incomplete linkage is found in maize, tomato, and in human beings also. This is incomplete linkage is present. Next one is crossing over. So in linkage is complete only parental types only. Up to now we have discussed about the linkage. No, in linkage only in complete linkage only we can observe the linkage is inherited to the next generation. But the linkage is not always complete. Complete linkage is very rare. Complete linkage is very rare. So in linkage there are incomplete linkages more. That means there is recombination. There is a chance for, there is a possibility for recombination. So when the scientist Morgan working on Drosophila, first he observed that X-shaped configuration on chromosomes during the meiosis cell. Then he came to know that at the place of the X-shaped configuration, there is a break taking place and the exchange of genetic material also taking place. So this is called as crossing over. There is a X-shaped configuration on the chromosomes between the non-homologous chromosomes. Homologous chromosome between the non-sister chromatids, and a break takes place and the exchange of genetic material also takes place. So this is called the crossing over. So if you come to the correct definition of the crossing over, the exchange of genes between homologous chromosomes resulting in a mixture of parental characteristics in offspring. So there is an exchange of genes between homologous chromosomes between non-sister chromatids, okay, resulting in a mixture of parental characteristics in offspring. So this is called the crossing over. This is called the crossing over. So this crossing over plays an important role in developing new variations. So the genes on the chromosome where they present, the location, the place where the genes are present, that place is called as loci. So when we see the mechanism, how the crossing over takes place, so this crossing over takes place in meiosis, that is during zygote and pacting. So what happened if you see the mechanism of crossing over? During the in meiosis, prophase is very long phase. So it is divided into 5 sub-stages. That is in prophase. So in zygote stage, that is in zygote substage, it is the first prophase of meiosis. The homologous maternal and paternal chromosomes. There are homologous chromosomes. One is from parent, that is mother, and one is from the father. So in zygote substage, the homologous maternal and paternal chromosomes are start of pairing. Pairing takes place. It starts in zygote of prophase 1, where in homologous chromosomes only. The pairing takes place between only homologous chromosomes. Okay. So in zygote, the homologous chromosomes. Here homologous means one is from mother and another one is from father. The pairing takes place and they lie closely side by side. These chromosomes, after pairing, what happened? They lie, they stay side by side. So this phenomena is called as synapsis. The pairing, after pairing takes place between homologous chromosomes. So after pairing, these chromosomes are lie side by side. Then this is called synapsis. The pairing of chromosomes takes called as synapsis. So how this pairing of chromosomes takes place? Due to the mutual attraction. Due to the mutual attraction between the allelic genes. So now chromosome pairs are formed. These paired chromosomes are known as bivalent because in the two chromosomes are present. From mother one is and another one is from father. Two chromosomes are present in a pair. So that pair, the two chromosomes are called bivalent. What we call bivalent. Next, after the pairing, that is synapsis, then it is followed by duplication of chromosomes. Here next, synapsis is followed by the duplication of chromosomes, which change the bivalent nature of chromosome pair into tetravalent. So now, after pairing, each of the homologous chromosome in bivalent split longitudinally. There is a bivalent is there. In bivalent, how many chromosomes? Two chromosomes are there. Now, in this bivalent, each chromosome splits longitudinally into two sister chromatids. These two sister chromatids attached at the centromere. So each chromosome, it splits and forms the two chromatids. So thus the four chromatids are formed in bivalent. Because in bivalent, two chromosomes are present. So each chromosome splits into two chromatids. So the bivalent, it consists of how many? Four. Four chromatids are formed in bivalent. These four chromatids, they are present side by side as two pairs. So this takes place in the zygote stage. Then in pactin stage, after the formation of these chromatids, the crossing over takes place. During this, the non-sister chromatids, here non-sister chromatids means the chromatids belongs to the two chromosomes. Sister chromatids means the chromatids belong to the only one chromosome. So in zygote stage, in pactin stage, the non-sister chromatids of homologous chromosomes, they pair, they twist over each other. The non-sister chromatids, they twist each other, they overlap one by another. So the point of contact where these two chromatids are overlapping, the point of contact, the point of contact of crossover chromatids, that point, it looks like a X shape. So this structure is called chiasma. So after forming the chromatids of these two homologous chromosomes, so then between the non-homologous chromatids, the overlap takes place. Then one chromatid of one chromosome, it overlaps on another chromatid of another chromosome. Then the X-shaped structure form. This X-shaped structure is called as chiasma. What we call this? Chiasma. Okay. So at the each chiasma, the chromatid breaks, and then the broken segments, they rejoin. The structure of chromatid, it goes to another. You see the picture. Now you look at this picture. Now easily understood. Here the two homologous chromosomes are there. One is blue color, one is red color. Then there is a overlapping is there. See, between the non-sister chromatids, that is blue and red, those are the non-sister. The overlapping is there. So at the place of where these non-sister chromatids are countered, that place it looks like X shape. X shape. So this is called chiasma. This is called chiasma. Later, at this chiasma place, break occurs. Break occurs. Then these non-sister chromatids, they exchange their parts. You see the last picture. A red part attached to the blue and a blue part attached to the X chromosome. Here they exchanged their genetic material. The red chromosome, it gives it parts to the blue, and blue it takes the from red. There is an exchange between these two non-sister chromatids. So here the crossing over takes place between the inner chromatids. In the outer, there is no crossing over. So here, breaks and the broken segment, they rejoin a new chromatid. Then the exchange of the parts of chromatids, it brings alternation. There is a change in the sequence of genes because it mutually exchanged. So that's why there is a change in the sequence of genes. So after this crossing over is complete, the non-sister chromatids, they repel each other. They repel each other because then attraction, it decreases. Then the repulsion and separation of chromatids takes place. So later, the repulsion and separation of chromatids starts from the centromere towards the end, just like a zipper, and this separation is called as terminalization. So this termination continues up to diplotin diakinesis, that is the end of the prophase of meiosis 1. So this is the mechanism of the crossing over. So this crossing over thus brings about the alternation of linear sequence of gene in chromosome. So that produce gametes and thus add new combinations of character in the offsprings. So there are some theories are there to explain the crossing over. So first theory is contact first theory. So according to this theory, the inner two chromatids of the homologous chromosomes undergoing crossing over first touch each other. The inner chromatids, they contact each other, and then crossovering over takes place. So at the where they touch, at the contact, a break occurs and the broken segments, they rejoin. At the where they contact, their break occur and they exchange their parts and rejoining also taking place. So this is contact first theory. And second theory is the breakage first theory. It is proposed by Muller, scientist. So according to this theory, the chromatids which are undergoing crossing over, they first break into two. The chromatids which are involved in crossing over, first they break into two. After that, so before crossing over, first the breaking of chromatids takes place. After the breaking of these chromatids, these broken segments, they reunion. So here first breaking takes place, next reunion takes place and form a new combinations. And next theory is the strain theory. Strain theory. It is proposed by scientist Darlington. So according to this theory, the breakage in chromosomes or chromatids is due to strain. In crossing over, first breaking taking place. Next rejoin. So how the breaking takes place? Due to the strain. Due to the strain. How it is strain it got? Due to the pairing. In zygote stage, what happened? The non-homologous homologous chromosome, they start pairing. So due to this pairing, there is a strain formation takes place. Due to this strain, the breakage of chromosome takes place. Next, reunion of chromatids takes place and forms the new combinations. So there are types of crossing overs are there. Single crossing over, double crossing over, and multiple crossing over. So in single crossing over, only one chiasma is formed, all along the length of the chromosome pair. So gametes formed by this type of crossing over are called single crossing over gametes. Next, double crossing over. In this type of the two chiasma are formed along the entire length of chromosome. So it leads to the breakage and rejoin of chromatids at 2 points. So in this crossing over, the gametes which are produced, they are called double crossover gametes. And next, multiple crossing over. In this type of crossing over, more than 2 chiasma formation takes place. And more than 2 places crossing over takes place. So it is a rare occurring. So there are some factors are there which are affect the crossing over. First, sex. In some organisms, sex also it influences the crossing over. In Drosophila, the crossing over it completely suppressed in male. In male, the crossing over is not occur, but in female, it is more. And next one is the mutations. These mutations in some organisms, it reduces the crossing over. That is also observed in Drosophila. Next, inversions. Inversion means that is intersegmental change in the chromosome. So these inversions also, it suppresses the crossing over. Next, temperature. So the high and low temperature variations, the percentage of crossing over also certain parts increased. In Drosophila, they observed that when they change the temperature at high and low, the crossing over also, it shows the changes. And X-ray effect. So these X-rays and irradiations, they increase the crossing over where near the centromere. And age. So age also influences the rate of crossing over. When they became older, the rate of the crossing over increases. That is, they observed in Drosophila. And nutrition. High calcium diet in young Drosophila decrease the crossing over. So this is the factors affecting the crossing over. Next, what is the significance, importance of crossing over? So it is provides a direct proof for linear arrangement of the genes. So these through crossing over, the homologous segments interchanged. So that's why the new combinations are formed. It leads to the genetic variations. And crossing over also, it is useful to construct a linkage maps. This crossing over also useful in the, it plays an important role in breeding. It is producing new varieties. And also the linkage groups which are present on the chromosome, the linear order of the genes, they help to reveal the mechanism of genes. So this is the importance of mainly the crossing over. Due to the crossing over, the recombination takes place, that is new species formation takes place. So it is very useful in evolution process. Thank you.